If you watched the last episode on generators and thought, yes, but my child is somehow even more than that, this episode is for you. The manifesting generator is the type that makes parents question everything they thought they knew about focus, commitment, and what it means to raise a driven child. Because the MG looks like a contradiction from the outside. They're passionate and scattered, brilliant and unfinishable, deeply capable and seemingly allergic to the path everyone else takes to get somewhere. If that sounds like your child, welcome to the most misunderstood type in human design. I'm Chris Kadowski. This is the Type Files. Let's talk about your manifesting generator child. I think the manifesting generator is a hybrid type. They carry the sustainable sacral energy of the generator, that full tank we talked about in episode 1, but layered with something extra, a connection to the throat center that gives them the ability to move energy into action faster than any other type. My second daughter, Nala, is an MG, and this fits her to a T. MGs make up roughly 33% of the population, which means if you're a parent, there's a very real chance you're raising one. Here's the simplest way I can describe an MG to a parent who's never heard of human design before. Imagine a generator, all that life force energy, all that capacity to build, but now give them a turbo engine and remove the part of the brain that sees any reason to go slowly. That's your MG child. That's my Nala. They don't walk towards something that interests them. They sprint. They don't explore one thing, they explore 6 simultaneously and somehow retain information from all of them. They don't follow the steps. They skip the ones that feel irrelevant and arrive at the answer before you've finished explaining the process. My little girl doesn't wait for anybody. Trust me. And then just like the generator, when the energy withdraws, it withdraws completely. And they're on to the next thing before you've processed that the last thing is over. Let me name the thing that brings most parents of MGs to their knees: the unfinished projects, the half-read books, the abandoned hobbies, the instrument that got practiced obsessively for 2 months and now lives under the bed somewhere, the sport they quit, the collection they started and forgot, the business idea they had at 11 that consumed them for 3 weeks and then poof, evaporated. And the narrative that builds around all of it, from teachers, from well-meaning relatives, sometimes from the parents themselves, is that this child has a focus problem, a commitment problem, a follow-through problem. It's ADHD, it's ADD. Stop it. Please stop. I'm going to dismantle that narrative completely right now. The manifesting generator is not scattered. The manifesting generator is efficient. Okay? Follow me here. Their system is designed literally at the level of their energetic blueprint to move fast toward what's alive, extract what they need from it, and move on when the energy is complete. They're not built for linear progression. They're built for multi-directional mastery. The half-finished projects are not failures. They are a library of skills, experiences, and knowledge that the MG is accumulating in a way that makes no sense until suddenly it makes all the sense. The MG adult who seems to have done everything and nothing is often the most unusually capable person in the room because they've been building a mosaic their whole life that nobody else could see was a picture. Your job as the parent of an MG is not to make them finish things, it's to help them understand why they are the way they are. So they stop believing the story that something is wrong with them. Here's the other thing about MGs that parents struggle with, and teachers struggle with even more. MGs, they love to skip steps. You explain a process from beginning to end, the MG hears step 1, intuits steps 2 through 5, and is already at step 6. They're not being reckless. They're not being disrespectful. Their processor is genuinely faster than the linear path. The problem is when they skip a step that actually mattered, which happens all the time, because moving fast means occasionally missing something. The human design guidance for MGs is to respond, then inform, then act, and be willing to go back when they skip something that turns out to be important, not as a punishment, as a correction of course. The MG who learns to recognize I went too fast and missed something without making it mean they're broken becomes unstoppable. The MG who is constantly punished for their speed learns to hide it, and a hidden MG is a frustrated MG. I want to spend a moment here because I think this is where parents suffer the most with MG children. We live in a world that prizes specialization. Pick a thing, get good at it, build your identity around it, go deep, not wide. The MG is built for wide. They're not going to be the child who does one sport for 10 years and gets a scholarship. Some of them will, if that sport genuinely keeps their sacral engaged for that long. Anything is possible with an MG. But the natural MG trajectory is to move through many things, gather deeply from each, and eventually find the intersection where all of it lives together. Some of the most innovative adults I've encountered in human design work are MGs who were told their whole childhood that their inability to specialize was a liability, and who discovered in their 30s that the breadth of their experience was actually their greatest competitive advantage. Your MG child doesn't need to pick one thing. They need to be given a wide enough table to explore many things, and the understanding that all of it is adding up to something, even when it doesn't look like it yet. When we're looking at their frustration and anger, okay, like the generator, the MG's shadow emotion is frustration. When they're not following their sacral response, when they're grinding through things their body has said no to, they become chronically frustrated. But MGs have an additional layer. Because of their manifestor connection, they can also carry anger when they feel controlled, slowed down, or caged in by systems and expectations that don't fit how they move. Again, this is my Nala girl. The MG child who is acting out, who is explosive at home, who seems to have too much energy with nowhere to put it, that child is almost always an MG who has been asked to move at someone else's pace for too long. The solution is never more restriction. It's more space, more options, more permission to move at their natural speed toward things that genuinely light them up. When an MG is in flow, following their response, moving fast, building their mosaic, the frustration and the anger dissolve. You don't have the same child. You have the version of them that was always possible. And when I'm looking at my young Nala, whenever we are letting her be and letting her do what she loves to do, she's unstoppable for hours. She is happy. She is content. As soon as we come up and we say, hey, 5 more minutes till we take a nap, we start getting all this. We got to tone her down, relax her, assure her there's reasons for taking naps, et cetera, things like that. So if this is your child, this is what you need to understand about managing them, not controlling them. Show them where to go, what to do. Show them anything is possible by them doing it. And they're going to find interest in it and comply eventually. So practically, here's what parenting an MG actually looks like. First, give them a wide table. Don't limit the options. Let them try things, let them explore, let them start 6 things if that's what their body is responding to. You are not enabling chaos. You are supporting the natural architecture of how they learn. Number 2, stop finishing their sentences. MGs process faster than most people speak. If you watch your MG child in conversation, they are often already at the answer before the question is complete. This isn't rudeness, it's processing speed. Work with it instead of against it. Number 3, let them skip steps, but teach them to check. When your MG child takes a shortcut, don't automatically correct it. First ask, did it work? If it did, honor the efficiency. If it didn't, help them trace back to what was missed without shame, without making it a character flaw. Number 4, ask the sacral just like the generator. Yes or no questions, body first. Does this still feel good? Do you want to keep going? The MG's sacral response is just as reliable as the generator's. It just often gets overridden by their faster cognitive processing. Help them slow down long enough to hear it. Number 5, protect them from the narrative. The world is going to tell your MG child that they have a problem. Teachers will flag the unfinished work. Coaches will note the inconsistency. Relatives will worry about the direction. Your job is to be the one voice that consistently says, I see how you're built. I trust it. Keep going. That one voice can change everything. The manifesting generator who grows up understanding their design becomes something the world genuinely doesn't have a category for. They're the entrepreneur who builds 3 companies simultaneously and somehow scales all of them. They're the artist who moves between mediums and creates work that doesn't fit a genre. They're the parent who gives their children the most expansive, multi-dimensional upbringing because they've lived in that many worlds. They're not the deepest specialist in the room. They're the person who can see connections between things that nobody else can see because nobody else has been in all of those rooms but them. That is not a consolation prize for not being able to specialize. That is a rare and specific form of genius. And it starts with a parent who saw it early enough to protect it. Everything I've described today, the MG's type, their sacral authority, their specific design, the way their unique chart shapes how all of this expresses in them personally, is what lives inside their soul print. Because here's the thing. Everything I've told you today is true for every manifesting generator, but your child's soul print goes further than that. It takes their specific birth data, the exact moment and location they arrived, and translates what was in the sky at that moment into a 97-page manuscript written directly to them. Not to MGs in general, to them. Their astrology, their specific human design, their soul themes, their personal story. That's what makes the book different from everything else out there. It's not a type report. It's not a general guide. It's a mirror that reflects back who this specific child is in language warm enough to grow into for a lifetime. If you want that for your MG, the link is below. In the next episode, we're covering the projector, the type that is most frequently misread by the world around them and most deeply in need of being truly seen, aka me, aka my third child, our beautiful boy, Carden. If you have a child who seems older than they are, who reads people in ways that surprise you, who has enormous wisdom but struggles to be recognized for it, that episode is going to land hard. I might even cry. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Share this one with a parent who's been told their MG child has a focus problem. They need to hear something different. Trust me, they'll love you for it. I'll see you in the next one. And as always, love, light, and aloha.